Hi, glad to see you. I'm Stephanie Lindloff from Our Natural Wisdom, and welcome to my weekly offering, Reclaim Your Peace with Mother Earth. So glad to have you here today. Thanks for joining. So, I am an eco-intuitive life coach and teacher, and I help women who are struggling with anxiety and self-doubt. I help you to reclaim your peace through simple moments with nature. And today I wanted to talk about something that's come up in a few conversations I've had recently with women who are in their 40s and 50s, and that is the anxiety that we can feel when one of our parents or perhaps our grandparents um, went through an illness, whether it was something that they came out of the other side and are continuing to live a happy and healthy life, or if your parents may have transitioned to the next life, to the next stage. And I'm in the latter category. My mom passed away about 13 years ago now, and I am actually approaching the age when she started showing signs of her illness, which was Lewy body dementia. And when we experience going through a parent's illness and, in my case, her death, it is, there's so many emotions that go into it, right? We can internalize so much of that anxiety, imagining that the same thing is going to happen to us. We hold it within our thoughts, within our beliefs, even. Now, not a good feeling. I mean, we can all agree this is not a good feeling. This is not something that we want to carry with ourselves day in and day out because it just, keeps us in that state of panic, of sometimes of kind of a frantic state or a feeling like, you know, our days are numbered, the time is running out. I mean, it sounds like I'm making light of this. I am not. It is very painful and it's a difficult thing to experience. And the reason I'm talking about this is because this is one of those things that so many of us are going through that is contributing to our anxiety. It may be creating new anxieties for you, or it may just be elevating the anxiety that you already live with in your life, like I do. I have chronic anxiety, general anxiety disorder, like so many people do in this day and age for so many reasons. There's a lot of things that can be done to help with anxiety. I have some special, simple practices that I like to share with you, with my clients and my students that involves connecting more deeply with your soul, with your higher self, with your intuition. Your intuition is the language of your soul. And we do this so easily when we connect with nature. Now, I'm not here to tell you that this is going to, snap your fingers and all of your anxieties and all of your worries are going to be gone. But the approaches that I teach, the practices that I teach, are truly essential at managing our day-to-day lives that involve things that contribute to our anxiety. And what I am here to do for you is to share what has helped me over the years and some really fascinating research that is coming out that points even more strongly to how powerful connecting with healthy, natural environments can be for us on every level. Our physical bodies, our emotional bodies, the way that we think, our cognition, and also our spiritual bodies. One of the key things that I love to teach and share with my clients and has really generated significant benefits for so many women that I have worked with is to begin to observe your thinking and to allow yourself to be in a space, and nature provides a beautiful space for this. Allow yourself to be in a space where you can just step back and take the observer role in your life and look at how you are thinking. To be able to step back and observe yourself, I want you to know that it can make a huge impact because it helps you create space from thoughts that, guess what, are not always true. Our brains come up with so many thoughts every day, tens of thousands of thoughts that may or may not be true. And a thought is something that our brain generates oftentimes by default. So if you have had a particular thought over and over again, you know that your brain is going to come up with that thought again. So if the thought is, oh my God, let's see, forgot my son's water bottle yesterday when I took him to school. Now, there are so many things that I could think about that, right? It could be, oh, it was a busy morning, or his water bottle was in a different place, and so I didn't see it. And, oh, well, forgot the water bottle. Guess what my brain did? It went to, oh my God, I'm starting to forget things. Oh no, I wonder if this is like the beginning of dementia setting in. Now, in a way, that makes me kind of laugh because when I say it out loud, it really does sound a bit ridiculous. But when you have experienced that kind of trauma and seeing a loved one go through it, of course, it is natural to have that thought. It is natural to have that thought because your brain is seeking to protect you at all times. Your brain wants you to stay safe and protected. And in some cases, this means raising red flags that don't exist, that are maybe not even plausible or realistic or, based in any kind of fact at all. But if your brain has thought it before, chances are it's going to think it again. Okay. So when we learn, when we make it a practice, and it really does require practice, when we make it a practice to step back and observe our thinking, it can create that space from your thoughts and from your true self, from your wise self, from your essence, from your highest self. Now, we can work to experience this in all circumstances, in, the workplace, in our home, while we're driving a car. But I want you to know that one of the easiest places to do this is when you are outside in nature. There is something about being outside that enables us to reach that state of expansiveness that we really need in order to generate some space from our thinking and to remind ourselves that we can not only create that space, but we can also ask the question in that moment, is this true? Is this really true? This thought that I'm having, that forgetting my son's water bottle means that I am developing dementia. Is this true? Now, I don't necessarily know the answer to that, right? But I do know that I can question it and that I do not need to accept it as fact just because my brain brought it up in me. This is at the core of so much of the work that I do with my clients is practicing observing your thoughts because your thoughts generate your feelings determine the actions that you take, and your actions determine the results that you experience in this life. This is called the model. It is a thought management tool created by Brooke Castillo of the Life Coach School, and it is powerful. It is powerful. It really has created so many benefits in my life and in the lives of many of my clients. And if you are interested in learning more about it, I encourage you to reach out for a free breakthrough session with me. This is a 1 hour phone call where we get to know each other and I can share with you some of my experience and approach that will help you so that you are able to access that peace that you deserve so much more easily. If you are interested in having a breakthrough session with me, then I encourage you to click the link down below in the description, or you could just go right to ournaturalwisdom.com/breakthrough. All right, now I wanted to share with you some really fascinating research that has been recently released. It was created by researchers at King's College in London, highly respected institution. And they learned that, so we know that being in nature is good for us, right? We know that it has a number of benefits, physical benefits, mental benefits, emotional benefits, spiritual benefits, so many reasons to spend more time in nature. What King's College did was they wanted to get a better understanding of whether the level of diversity in that natural environment has any impact on the level of benefits that people receive when you are interacting with nature. And so they undertook a big study and they found that higher diversity in your environment, meaning more types of plants, more types of birds, more types of mammals, more types of, landscapes, the greater the diversity of the environment that you are exposed to, the greater the health benefits. And it's significant because, for many reasons, two of the things that I really wanted to point out is that they found out that the benefits are not just fleeting. They don't dissipate after like 20 minutes. The benefits of being in an environment that has diversity to it and is not just like, let's say, a big, mowed lawn or a park that has a whole bunch of grass and then just a couple of trees. So comparing that kind of an environment to the benefits in an environment of, let's say, a prairie or a woodland or a garden that has like a native flower garden, which I love and teach all about, that also has a lot of biodiversity because have bees and butterflies and all sorts of things going on. So what is happening, and they don't say this, these are my words, is that the life force energy in that space is higher. There is so much more life. There is so much more energy that is happening within these biodiverse areas in comparison to, let's say, a big expanse of mowed lawn. And while they are both technically outside, there is a huge difference in terms of the impact that these spaces have on us. What they found was in the more, monoculture areas that don't have a lot of diversity, the benefits they existed, but they were not sustained. They did not last for very long for these people. Yet, when they exposed people to a more biodiverse landscape and assessed them as well, they learned that in some cases the benefits were sustained for up to 8 hours. 8 hours, simply because of being exposed to a biodiverse area. Could be a garden, could be literally in your backyard, as I like to teach. Native flower gardens right in your backyard, incredibly biodiverse, easily accessible. But there's a lot of other places that you could go to get this as well. And something else and I should say that these benefits were, they took into account social and economic differences. So these benefits are notable, absolutely. And the thing that I especially loved hearing is that it did not mean being in that biodiverse area for hours at a time. Even fleeting moments with nature in a biodiverse area can have significant benefits to us. I think that this study is really pointing to how affected we are by a healthy environment, by the life force energy that is amplified, that is elevated, and that can really bring you and everybody so many beautiful benefits in terms of your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health. So when you have the opportunity to be out in nature in the future, I encourage you to take a few minutes to simply observe your thinking. Allow yourself to step into the observer role of yourself and get in tune with the thoughts that are coming automatically. See, check inside if they feel good to you. If you do have thoughts that are generating anxiety, know that once you can identify them, you, my friend, are already on the path of bringing yourself greater peace. Because when you do acknowledge those thoughts and get space from them, and ask yourself, is this true? So just take a moment to ask yourself, is this true? All right. I just want to invite you to bring your hands to your chest right now. Take some nice deep breaths. Allow yourself to integrate everything that you just heard. Simple guidance on how to create space in your thinking, how to release anxiety and anxious thoughts, how to create greater peace in your life, how to begin to access more and more the wisdom of your highest self, the wisdom of your soul, and receive the love and support of the divine, however you choose to define it. The divine is so present in nature. Yet another reason why it feels so safe and comforting to spend time with nature, especially in places that have a diversity of plants and animals to support you and elevate the life force energy that is in your life. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will be back again next week on Tuesday, and it will be at 10 a.m. Central. I'm starting to transition into my summer hours with the kids being home from school, so I look forward to seeing you next week on Tuesday right here on YouTube Live at 10 a.m. And once again, if you are interested in experiencing a free breakthrough session where we get a chance to talk one-on-one about what's going on in your life, where you would like to go, and if eco-intuitive life coaching is the path for you, I encourage you to click the link down below in the description or just head on over to ournaturalwisdom.com/breakthrough. There you can book your session at your convenience. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I'll see you again next week. Take care. Bye-bye.